I think it's Saturday, yeah. What is it, 6 o'clock or something, yeah. Certain things were coming to me and I was thinking about, and I just thought I'd share this with you because, again, this is sort of important stuff if you want to, how do I put it, look at causality, if we want to try and explain the events that we experience and why we experience it the way that we experience it. So a lot of times I don't like to think about it in data terms. I use the word data, right? Hey, I'm a computer. Wow, it's sort of impersonal. When you think about, hey, I'm living spirit, I'm living light. My spirit is in that light, right? So I had an experience this morning on my way into downtown Reno. And as soon as I was standing, even before I got into the bus, this woman in a real mean voice says, "You got to have a mask on before you get on my bus." So I thought, okay, guy took the gloves off. I guess I got to take the gloves off. So I informed her. I said, "You realize you're committing a crime, don't you? I ought to have you arrested and pulled off this bus." Okay? And so naturally the way that she responds to it is, she goes, "Well, that's your opinion." I said, "No, that's actually the law. You obviously don't know the law, do you? Ever studied international law, inter-star nation law? There are certain laws on this planet. I'm a first law native Indian. First law is first light, which is first love, showing love towards others." So I realized this is an energetic vampire. So what do you do with an energetic vampire that's driving around? That means all these people getting on this bus are going to get treated like crap. And I know that because I know who this woman is, because I've ridden on her bus many times. I thought to myself, what do you do with somebody like this? Okay? It's going around draining people's batteries. Okay? That's the nature of what we're dealing with here on this planet. Actually, that's the nature of what we're dealing with all over Laniakea. Hence the reason why DNA data is important. Remember, I covered that once before? We ran a programs. Remember? All the programs we run. If you don't think so, then just go to Google Play and realize, okay, there's all these programs. Who wrote all these programs? Every time you run it, well, who do you think's running the program? We are. Okay, so you're running numerical language, computer language, to run a program. That's how it works. So I thought, well, how about if we do this? I thought, well, if I was your supervisor, if I wrote a letter to the director of the bus company, I know how to do that. That's pretty easy to do. I used to write a lot of letters. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll just share this with you. I used to own a gun at one time, a .357 Magnum. When I used to have a gun permit, because I was working security, working for Rockwell International Corporation, and when you're there, a lot of firefighters have to sub for the security there, and because it's a defense contractor facility, that means that nobody gets into this place, right? Unless you're either escorted or you got a clearance. So we had to get permitted to have a weapon. So I had a .357 Magnum. So the point in all that is that one night I was over at a friend's house, sitting out in an alleyway, and Cypress PD came up and decided to give a lot of other people a bunch of shit. So I stepped in and said, "Listen, you don't be treating these people. Now I'm a target." So they decided they were going to haul me in, and they charged me with possession of a firearm and all that kind of stuff, right? So you know that trying to get your weapon back is going to be very hard, right? So what I did is I did some research, and I presented it. And this isn't anything that a lawyer did that I paid to try and solve this case and get it dismissed. So what I did is I took it into court and I submitted it, pro se, on behalf of myself, and I put it before the judge, and he returned my gun. That's rare. So you're basically in a war against vampires. That's why they wear black robes. So I thought, how about if we do this? I thought, if I was their supervisor, what would I do? I would reprimand. Is that going to change the equation for this lady's energy? No. Okay? Because now we're back to fear-based consequence behavioral programming, aren't we? Okay? So they're learning through fear. That's not going to work. Love is what heals. Well, I don't know this woman's history. Hell, for all I know, I don't even know if she has a soul. She could be an android. Okay, so what we got to do is get a sample of her DNA and pull up her history. Maybe we can go back and see exactly what happened to her from the inception of who she is. Now, we can go in there and we can change her whole history if we want. We can change the event on the timeline that she experienced that resulted in the behavior that we now experience. We can do that. We know how to do that. I know how to do that. That's called programming. Programming the experiences in a holographic bidirectional mirror. It's a program, a simulator. So change the simulations that she's experiencing. Okay? She certainly wasn't in here when you can manifest. So therefore I thought, I'll just pull up a sample of her DNA. Pull up the hologram, take a look at her history, see what happened. I've already looked at my history. Okay? I pulled up my projector and did that. And then punched my timesheet in. Said, okay, all the data's going up. It's going right on the record. So imagine I could go back and change a lot of my experiences. Well, you know what that does? It changes your timeline. Every event, every single event is connected to another event. And all those events are linked to all the other events that are linked to yours. So you realize the calculation that is required in order to fix that or align all of those sequences, which are event sequences, that are timed in a time clock. Because DNA has a time clock built in for obvious reasons. Okay? So this is the nature of the energy vampires. Okay? And a lot of them are simply not aware of their own behavior and what they do to others. Okay? And that's, in many ways, it's very painful for me because you're just simply not aware of it. So if you made them aware of it and you showed them with love how it works, they'd probably start crying. Who knows? That's why love is the greatest teacher. Okay? Love is the greatest teacher. So here, you see what just happened? Some guy comes up and wants to disturb me because his needs are so great. It's like, fuck you. Whatever you're doing, I don't care. This is the nature of the problem. Okay, it used to be when I was growing up as a child, if you saw somebody who was busy doing something, okay, and you had any love and respect for anybody else, you'd wait until they're done. No, this guy just imposes himself on people. That happens everywhere. These people don't have any manners. You know what we used to have? We had a saying for that when I was growing up as a kid. What's the matter? You were born in a barn? Even though I love all the animals in the barn. I'd rather hang out with all the animals in the barn than I would energetic vampires. Anyway, I thought I'd share that for my morning my morning wake-up call. Because this is how it works. There are, if you will, nice, very nice, decent, loving, kind bus drivers in this town. Okay? But when you're in a place where you're experiencing such low density consciousness, you're picking up a ton of goo. So what do? You got to burn it off, go right back into your heart, spin that light wheel. Okay? Keep your alkaline up, et cetera, right? So, it's sort of like, this is what I woke up to. Somebody draining my battery. I'm used to living out in the forest where the first things that I experience when I wake up is a songbird. And feeling the breeze blow through the trees. Nobody's harassing you or molesting your energy. Okay? So you understand if you're a light worker or a light warrior, I just think of it as just somebody that comes in here, a face in the crowd and goes about their work in the best way they know how to change the equation, because that's what it is. Bringing back peace, harmony, and balance so that you can express yourself wherever you go where people are not trying to drain your battery. Everybody seems to think they got their way that way they want to live their life and trying to tell everybody else how to live theirs. It's like, let it be. You know how to just be without any attachments? So, you got to have a sense of humor with this. Okay? Otherwise, your battery's done. Right? So anyway, I do know that the light is coming in. I saw a video yesterday by Lori Ladd, and she mentioned that her spirit guides were letting her know that they're injecting, if you will, the biosphere with more light, and I could certainly experience it. Okay? The sky was intensely blue yesterday around here yesterday and the day before, and I could certainly feel it going up. But for me, I gotta start writing and leaving some nice children's books about what it means to be with a goddess, what it means to be with more powerful spirit that you can learn through. It's sort of like when I mentioned in one of my other videos about being around children. I've been around children with 7 years of age that were extremely intelligent. Okay, that knew things. It's like, man, how'd you know that at that age? Right? That's the speed of their learning. And that's really what it is. Because when you think about it, it's like, why are you draining people's energy? What are you in fear of? You're in fear of losing energy. You're in fear of losing energy. You are energy. It's like, it's an insult. It's an absolute insult, okay, to be charging people for energy. You are energy. That's what the universe is energy. You're not ever going to run out of it. So why are you charging for it? The girl on the planet doesn't charge you for her energy. What do you think you're breathing in and out every day? It's ridiculous. It's an insult. It's like coming in and it's like, why do I have to put up with this shit? Right? Because they're vampires. How else are they going to be able to accumulate more energy than you if they turn around and use it to control us? Okay, unless they're charging you for it. So it's just like I thought to myself, I got my clan mother, Karen Ann McDonald. She's filed papers in the international court before. You know what? Let's do this. I've done this calculation, by the way. I counted up from the inception when I came in here exactly how much energy I gave away and how much they took from me. So I had to submit a bill to the United States government. The international bank say, you know what? You fucking owe me. This is how much you owe me in energy. Okay? Now, they're not ever going to be able to pay that back because love is priceless. Because it's a timeless state of energy. Are they ever going to do that? No. How come? Because they don't have that much energy. These are vampires. Okay? Anyway, I'll leave you that for the day. Have a great one.